Hello, today I wanted to talk about alignment and specifically about the classical 9 alignment system placed on two axes. And yeah, I know, originally there was only like law, chaos, and on the line. But I started playing with AD&D second edition, and the dual axis alignment system is the one that made it its way in the zeitgeist. It's also a constant source of a nerd debate, and I wanted it on the action. So in case you're watching this video but have no idea of what those 9 alignment are, and the two axes, one axis is good versus evil, the other axis is law versus chaos. So the alignment are a combination between the placement on those two axes. So one axis is going to be lawful, neutral, chaotic. The other one is going to be good, neutral, and evil. So your character is going to be lawful good, chaotic good, neutral evil, etc. If you're neutral on both axes, you are true neutral. The problem arises when we start to define what those concepts mean. Of course, nowadays, in a society that is steeped in moral relativism, people have no idea how to define good and evil. And granted, if you're not religious, this can be a hard thing to do. Of course, there are the basic that most goyim can agree with. Don't rape, don't murder, don't steal. But even that, people are always trying to justify their wrongdoing by an history of oppression or some shit like that. When it comes to lawful versus chaotic, the chaos side is usually doesn't cause too much trouble. It's seen as anything that relates to entropy, the breakdown of order, mostly social order, or wanton destruction. The lawful side causes more confusion because it conflates the character's attitude toward the law, but also his adherence to oaths and personal code. And sometimes those can come into conflicts. Think of a mobster in a criminal organization with a rigid hierarchy. Is he lawful as he follows the rules of his organization? Or is he chaotic as he is a criminal? So obviously there's a lot of subjectivity in this alignment system. There's also no agreement as to which is the most good and which is the most evil. Paladins used to have the restriction of being lawful good, and that was often seen as the ultimate good alignment, the paragon of virtue. But some say that chaotic good is the most good alignment, as you're not bound by law in your good doing. That is often seen as the Robin Hood alignment. And the same exists on the evil side. Who is the most evil? Is it the lawful evil character who is dedicated to an evil cause? Or is it the chaotic evil character who just want to cause harm and have loyalty towards nobody? And this is where I come in and the change I'd like to suggest to the system. It's a minor change, just a way of seeing things, but I think it can clarify some of those weird cases. Currently, there are two axes, but since the alignment are usually conceptualized on a 3x3 grid, you get the result that the four extremes are lawful good, lawful evil, and chaotic evil. And the further you can be from lawful good is to be chaotic evil. The further you can be from chaotic good is to be lawful evil. But I think if we just do this change where the square is turned on its point, now all of a sudden the extreme position become the neutral one. And I think this makes a lot more sense. And I think we should get rid of the neutral mention for everyone that is not true neutral. And the alignment now is what drives your character. If your character is neutral good, which I would just call good, that is what your character focuses upon. He doesn't care if something goes against the law or not, and the same if a character is evil. This is as far as you can be from good, and all he wants to do is to cause harm, regardless what the law says. If a character is chaotic, he wants to oppose authority at every chance he gets, with little regard if he's helping or harming others. If we go in the mixed position, they are compromise position. The chaotic good character wants to oppose authority, but also wants to do good. He will have to try to balance the two positions. So we can see that those are not the most extreme position anymore. The character is not focused on a singular point, but try to balance between two attitudes. So now there's no question of who is the most evil and who is the most good. It is the evil and the good character, respectively. It creates a clearer conceptual distinction between the two axes. And you might have noticed that I avoided talking about the lawful alignment so far. This is the one that usually conflates a few things. And I suggest that it should be your attitude towards whoever or whatever is in authority over you. It could be your lord, your bishop, your boss, but it could also be like a more vague institution like the state or your religion or the law. So, the mobster from earlier, it is likely that he isn't a criminal because he actually wants to cause harm. He just doesn't care about it. If he's the type to be very loyal to his boss and the criminal organization, he would be a lawful character. I also didn't speak about the true neutral zone. I think this would be a good place for animals and non-sapient creature, but very few intelligent beings should fall into this category, unless they are specifically trying to be all about balance, maybe. But what about the random NPC villager? Traditionally, they are often classed as neutral, as they don't have strong feelings one way or the other. But I would argue that they should be by default lawful. The vast majority of people will do whatever the person or institution in authority over them will tell them to do, especially for people without any kind of great ambition who are just trying to live their life without being asshole. So I think that seeing alignment in this way, it makes it more about what matters to your character than just a general attitude toward things that nobody really cares about. It's not a huge change, it's mostly a different way of thinking about the same concept, but I think it makes alignment clearer and more useful. And speaking of which, I hope this video was somewhat useful or at least interesting. Let me know what you think of this change of conception or of alignment in general. Do you use them in your game? Do you think they still serve a purpose? Or do you think they're passe and obsolete? Uh, Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think down in the insult section below. And have a good day. Take care.